Hey all of you, hope you guys are great. So in the last video we have completed our login page. In this video we're going to start working on our header component. So here we are in the layout section. So let's come back here. Let's go to the header component, click on that, and that's what we're going to work right now. So let's import the packages. So we need React, use state, use effect, and that's coming from React. Then we have to import the linked, and that's coming from next. Then we have to do the internal import. Let's import the style file. Then come down, we have to import the logo, login, sign up component, and that's coming from index. Come down, we have to create the header component. We have to receive couple of props. So we need notification props, set notification props, and these are the props we have to receive into our header component. Come down, we have to take a menu list because we have to display our menu. So that's what we're going to display, and that's going to be taken as an array. So we'll take this one and we'll say name, home, close this one, and it will have a link. We have to do the same thing for other menus. So this will call name, about, and link, close this one. Then we have to take the another one, and this will be the API, and we'll have to redirect to the API page /NFTs API. So this is the endpoint we're going to create. Now come down here, we have to take all of these things. So we are done with the entire menu. Now come down here, we have to take a state variable, sign up, and send sign up. So initially it will be false because we're going to provide the sign up and login button in our header. So once they will click, the sign up form will pop up, the login form will pop up. So by default we have to set this to false because we don't want to display the pop-up for the very first time. Looks fine. Now we have to take the login one, same, false. Then we have to take the token, and will be an empty token. So initially what will happen that when the user will log in or when the user will sign in, we're going to take the token and we're going to add that token into a local system, means the local storage of the computer. So that's where we're going to simply store the token. So that's the variable we have. Come down, we have to take a variable called open model, and this will allow us to open the model. So we have to open one model at a time, like sign up model and a login model. So we have to open one at a time. So that's what we have taken here, open model. In that we have to check if element is equal to login, then we have to display the simply login component, and we have to hide the sign up component. Else we have to do the exactly opposite of that. If element is sign up, then we have to simply sign up the true, and then login is false. So hope this is a very simple logic. Close this one. So this is the very first function we have. Come down, we have to take a use effect, and by default we have to run a couple of things. So we'll say token and get the token. Okay, so get item. So this is the key pair we have given in the login. I hope you guys haven't forgot that. So we'll type NFT API token. That's what we have given in the login page. So this variable will be in our local storage. So that's what we have to get in the form of token. So once we have the token, we have to set the token in our state variable. So we can authenticate, we can able to find that the user is logged into the application if the token is there. If not there, means not login or not sign up. So use effect we have. Come here, we have to take a variable called logout, and this function will, what it will do, it will simply remove this token from our local storage, and that means the user is logged out. You can do based on the API. Again, I'm telling you that if you want to learn about complete API development in details, then you have to check that API course. In that I have explained every single thing, that how you have to log in and log out the user in your backend server instead of doing in the front end. So make sure to complete this project, and after that take that API course. It's a 12 to 13 hours course, and that you will learn every single thing you have to know about the Monk development. So I must tell you to complete this one. After that, take that particular course. So this is the login. We'll say local storage remove item. So we want to simply remove that one. Then come here, we have to simply reload the browser, and that's it. Come down here, we have to take this return, and now we have to work on the JSX part. So we'll take a fragment. Inside that we'll take a div. It will have a class called style header. In that we have to display our logo. Then we have to take a div. It will have a class called menu, and we have to display our menus. So it will have the menu list, and we're going to loop over it, and this will render our menu. So we'll take a link, and we're going to take this class, and we're going to assign the href. Then we provide the key, and then we have to provide the value. So p element.name. So far things are clear to all of you guys. So this is our menus. Now simply close this dynamic block. Now come here, we have to take a dynamic block once again, and we have to check for a couple of conditions. So if we have token in our state variable, then we want to display this particular component. So we'll take a p tab and we'll have an on click function, and we have to display this logout button if the token is there in our state variable. But if we don't have the token, then we have to display the login and sign up. So we'll say else, we'll take a fragment, and inside that we have to take a 2p tag. So we'll take on click and it will say open model. So this is the function we have created, and in that we have to pass this login, and then we have to do the second thing, same thing for the second one. So open model sign up, and we have to close this one. So when someone will click on login, it will display the login button, a login component, but when someone will click on the sign up, it will display the sign up component. Looks pretty good. Close this div and close this one. And now here we have to take this, the components, because we have to open it and close it. So let's take the sign up component. Let's write it down for a time being, because we haven't built that, but we have exported that, but we haven't written any single piece of code in our sign up component. So if I come here we'll say if sign up is true, then we have to display the sign up component. It will have a div class called style.form, and inside that we have to display the div. It will take form inner, and then we have to display our sign up component, and that we have to send couple of props, because if you look at the sign up component, is going to need something. It needs login state, set login, and it will need the set sign up. And come here, it's gonna take also the notification, because the message we have to display. So these are the props we are sending, and now we have to display the set notification, because we have to set the notification. Then simply close this one. So this is the sign up component we have. Now close the div, and close our dynamic component. Now we have to take one more dynamic component for the login. We have to do exactly the same thing here. So we'll say if login is true, then we'll take a div. It will have a class called form. We'll take this div class form inner. Inside that we have to take this login component we have built, and we have to send the props. So in that we have to set this to set login, and we'll send this set sign up. Then we have to send the notification, and we have to send the set notification. Looks pretty good. So these are the props we are sending into that. Now close this one, close the div, and close our dynamic block. So that looks pretty fine. Close that fragment, and now we have to simply export the header component. So that's pretty good. We are done with this entire header component. Hope this entire thing makes sense to all of you guys, that what we have done. First we have imported all of this, then we have imported our component and the style file, then we are receiving the props, and this is the menu list we have. So this is the props we are receiving, then this is the state variables we have. This is the open model function, which allow us to open one component at a time, whether it's a login and sign up. Then we have this use hook, because we have to fetch the token from the local storage to define that whether we have to display the login button or logout button. So that looks good. This is the logout function we have, and this is the entire JSX we have written. First for the menu, and then we have our dynamic buttons and this sign up and login component. So that's a pretty basics logic we have built here. Now we have to work on the CSS. Come here and let's click on the CSS and let's start working on it. Get the header class, and we have to assign display flex, justify content space between, align item center, background linear gradient color, our primary gradient color, padding 1 ram 2 ram, border radius 0.5 ram, margin bottom 4 ram. Come down, we have to target menu, display flex, gap 2 ram, cursor grab. You can give whatever you want. You can give cursor grab or pointer, it's totally up to you. Now we have to target the link, text decoration none, color this. Then we have to target the form. We'll say width 100%, height 100%, position flex, top 0, right 0, background color alpha plus opacity, z index on top of everything. Then come down, we have to target the form inner, This will be the window sorry, width 40%, padding top 3 RAM, margin 0 auto, so it will be hold in the middle of the screen. And come down, and here we have the media query. So we'll say media on a large screen 45 em. We want to have it like header to be display grid, justify content center, and grab is 2 RAM. Close it. Menu is going to be, let's say, display flex, and we'll have the gap to 0.5 RAM. Cursor grab, target the form inner. We'll say width is going to be 100% and padding is going to be 0. Close this one. Now we have to write the second media query for the mobile phone, so 35 em, and header is going to be like display grip, justify content center, gap 2 RAM, target the menu, display flex, gap 0.5 RAM, cursor grab, come down, we have target the form inner, and width is 100%, so looks pretty good, and padding 0. And that's the entire media query we have written. So looks pretty fine to me. Hope you guys have understood that what we have done. This is the header, this is the menu, this is the link, this is the form inner, and these are the 2 media query we have written for the responsiveness. So looks pretty good to me. Now we can come back, so come here, so close this one, come back to the layout component, and now we have to import our header component. So we'll say header, and we're going to paste this header right up here. So let's bring it down, and let's call the component, take the p tag and call logo, and come up here, we have to take our p tag and we'll say header, and down below we're going to take our header component. So call the header component, okay, bring it back. And what is happening here? So let's remove this one, copy this one. Sometime it happens, okay, so it's a part of development. So here we have the header component, looks pretty fine. Save it, and now we can come back to the browser, and you can see here we have our header looking absolutely fine. It's responsive, you can reload the browser and we have no issues. So right now you can see that we have token because I was testing, so it says that log out, and if I click on that, we will be log out from our application. So, and boom, here you can see our logic is also working fine. So I was testing before I started recording, so it's absolutely working fine. It's beautiful. You can reload the browser and you can see everything is working fine. So let's come back to the VS Code. So our header component is done and it looks pretty good. You can see we have no issues in that, and we have taken all of these variables. So these are all of things looking pretty good and it's working fine. So that's the only thing I want to cover in this video. Hope you guys have got an idea, and if you guys have encountered any error, just follow along with me and try to rewatch the video to fix that error. But in my case, I'm not having any issues. And by the way, if you really want to learn in depth about the APIs and the security and authentications like Monk development, then definitely check out the API course which we have on 13 hours. So that's the only thing I want to cover. See you in the next video. Have a wonderful day. Bye bye.